This thing's actually working. I think it probably is. Let's see. All right, it says it's live. Good. Welcome to the live stream, y'all. Oh, there's J Van. All right, let's start this thing. Let's start with a song called Silent Running. It's an old song from the 80s. Mike and the Mechanics, I think. Take your children and yourself and hide out in the cellar. By now the fighting will be close at hand. Don't believe the church and state and everything they tell you. Believe in me, I'm with the high command. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? There's a gun and ammunition just inside the doorway. Use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God and the Father and the Spirit will protect you and protect you from up here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? Swear allegiance to the flag, whatever flag they offer. Never hint at what you really feel. Teach the children quietly, for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight where we stood still. Can you hear me? Can you hear me coming? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? All right, welcome everybody to the podcast. This is episode 45, SoCal Hurricanes, Hilary, and folk singers getting famous. That song is a song by Mike and the Mechanics, like I said. It was a song that I was listening to constantly this weekend, mostly on Saturday night and Sunday. There was a hurricane warning coming through SoCal. San Diego was supposed to get a bad hurricane, and I got out of town. I was like, I am not sticking around for this. And sometimes I may not have evacuated, but it just seemed like I had the day off. I had Sunday, all my gigs were canceled, and I had some money, and I just had a couple days off, and I was like, I'm just going to get out of town either way. So I was like, and also I just packed up everything. I basically bugged out, took all my stuff, threw it in my car. It took me about an hour, and that was kind of a good test to see how good it is for me to evacuate. It takes me about an hour, turns out, to get all my stuff that I need in my car and go. I could probably do it quicker if I get a couple things down, but everybody out there should probably be doing the same, practicing bugging out, just in case you need to. Um, the times we're living in, it's really disappointing. But I personally believe we're being manipulated by the puppet masters, and they're causing all these problems, such as in Hawaii and the pandemic and everything else. It's just they're constantly coming at us with something. Um, and I think it's good to be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And I was just like, screw it. I'll just get out of town. I went to Phoenix for a day, just for like 24 hours, I guess it was there for, before I realized the storm was over, and I came back. And it was good to be in Phoenix, though. It's good to get out of town. I love San Diego. The weather here is amazing. The landscape is beautiful and wonderful. I'm very fortunate and grateful. Um, but my soul, I guess I'm kind of a gypsy. I like to travel, and I haven't been traveling much, so it was a really nice excuse to get out of town and see a different place, which was Phoenix. And I've never really spent much time in Phoenix. I've played there many times, but I don't usually hang out too long. I had some good friends there, but this was a chance to go to the grocery store at Phoenix and see some of the regular people, and I could tell just by the little bit of interactions I had with the people. People are a lot more down to earth there in Phoenix than they are here in SoCal, which is probably no surprise to everybody. It's so expensive here that people, unfortunately, are very stressed out. It's really a high cost of living, and it creates a certain vibe. There's not a whole lot of bohemian vibe here in SoCal, which is what I am. I'm more of a bohemian type, and I guess you can't have everything. You can have the weather or you can have the bohemians, but you can't have them both. I think there used to be both here in San Diego, but for the most part, a lot of them have gone away. Um, Ocean Beach is still pretty bohemian-like, but it's very chaotic, and I'm not trying to come down on anything. Please don't be offended by anything I say here. I'm just kind of saying what's on my mind, and that was probably kind of what I was thinking. It was just like it was good to get out of town and see another place, and maybe start thinking maybe I need to move somewhere else. I was thinking of moving to Florida, maybe, or I don't know, somewhere. I was even thinking Phoenix would be cool. I like Phoenix, but and Albuquerque, maybe move back to Albuquerque. My friend Mike is telling me now that Albuquerque is really blowing up with a lot of music venues and really active music scene. As I used to live in Albuquerque for about 13 years, and it was great to me. Again, grateful, super grateful. I'm grateful for so much stuff. I don't want to ever come across like I'm not grateful for stuff, even though I might critique things or say what I don't really care about stuff. But doesn't mean I'm coming down on it or I'm ingrate. Let me check in with the chats. We got J Van here in South Carolina. Hey J Van, good to see you as always. My dad's here. Um, he says my mom's on the way. And Steelman, sup, dude? Who's Steelman? I'm not sure if I can. That picture's so small, I can't tell who Steelman is. But welcome aboard, everybody. I don't know how many people are watching right now, but welcome to the live stream / podcast. So yeah, I wondered if I was kind of being a coward by leaving, but when I was taking martial arts as a kid, the instructor, the what do they call the instructors? The master or whatever we called him, sensei. The sensei would always say, the first rule in a fight is get out of there if you can. That's the first thing you think of. Is there a way out of this? Can you run away from the fight? That's the smartest thing to do in a fight. Kevin Jones is here. What's up, dude? I'm glad you're back, dude. The smartest thing you can do in a fight is get away from the fight. Just leave. So that's what I thought was the smartest thing to do. I had the opportunity, and I was just going to get out of everybody's way. They don't need another person here getting stuck in Southern California. That's just the way I felt about it. Now, if I had a family here or some friends who needed me, I would have stayed and fought it out. That's just the way it is. So I hope nobody thought I was a coward for leaving. I didn't leave you. I was leaving for myself to get just to get out of everything's way. It didn't seem like I had a purpose here. So I went to Phoenix, and yeah, I guess I've just been looking for a reason to flee SoCal for a while now. We're always trying to get somewhere, aren't we? We're always trying to get to another place, I guess. Especially me. When I was growing up, my parents moved a lot. I think I was in a different school every year when I was growing up, so I was used to seeing a new scene every year and a new group of people. And I guess I still have that in me. And I've been here in San Diego for 10 years this month, exactly. And I guess I still feel a little bit like I want to spread my wings and go and fly around. But I know I need to grow some roots, and I need to focus on some things here in San Diego, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm glad to be here for now. What else? I got a little list of things. I was just gonna say, the times we're living in. I got this sheet of notes that I wanted to make sure I got to today. The times we're living in, people. If you're out there and you're struggling, just know you're not alone. This is a really psychological time to be alive. I think every age has its challenge, but this age is challenged from 360 degrees. And pat yourself on the back for getting up out of the bed every morning and showing up. Um, there is a huge problem with people deleting themselves right now. I don't think I could say the S word on YouTube without getting censored, but people are taking themselves and putting themselves in the ground right now, and that's not. I mean, I get it. Those poor souls. People are struggling, and if you're here, pat yourself on the back and be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're brave for keeping going. Which is that first song that I sang, "Silent Running." Is to me, it's a prayer to God. You're like, can you hear me running? I'm running from the disasters. I was running away from a disaster this weekend, a potential disaster, and you're like thinking, is there a God? Why so much chaos? Why am I suffering so much? What's going on? So that song, "Silent Running," can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? It's a prayer to me. That's what the song, and I remember it when I was a kid, and it wasn't until the pandemic that song was like, wow, this song really makes sense now. I think those lyrics, someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight where we stood still. Someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight where we stood still. That makes me almost want to cry every time I read it because it's so true, and I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been trying to do as much as I can to avoid the disaster that's coming, and I know a lot of us have. Sometimes it's inevitable, and these kids, they're calling them, I guess after Gen Z, they're calling them the Alpha generation because they know that generation is going to be the generation of. It's going to be a tough time for them, and I think we should all do stuff now to help them, to avoid what's coming. And I hope I don't sound like a preacher or whatever. But this weekend was really a wake up call for me and a lot of people that we're just kind of on edge. Anything happens and we're like, okay, is this real or are they manipulating this and stuff? So um, there's things that we can do, people. There really is. There really is things we can do or not do. And one of them has to do with paying the IRS. If we keep paying the IRS, we're funding our own demise. And again, I might get censored and kicked off of YouTube for this, but that's a big deal. Like we gotta think about what we're doing. We're complicit with a lot of things. Where we shop, I use Amazon way more than I'd like to admit, but most of the time I don't go shopping at Whole Foods because I know they're owned by Amazon. I go to local or farmers market. I play a lot of farmers markets, so I go to farmers markets. I buy stuff from places that are local or not multinational. There are things that we can be doing, and we should be doing them. And the more we do them, the easier it's going to be for the future generations. I really feel very strongly about that. So that's why I started with that song, "Silent Running." It's sort of a prayer to God. And anyway, moving on to the next topic, I guess. One time, people a lot of times they'll say, "Well, that's a first world problem. You're having first world problems." But the thing is, it's all relative too. There's people in Africa that are in third world countries, of course, and they have it bad. And I don't remember what the name of the film was, but back in the 2000s, there was this film. It was a documentary about these kids who were, I think it was in Rwanda. They were waiting to get transferred to the United States. They're in sort of a concentration camp of sorts, and there are all these kids just waiting to go to America, but they're all in this concentration camp playing basketball and laughing and playing outside. And yeah, it was like a third world country, but at least they had each other and they were laughing and smiling and had sunshine. And then they show them coming to the United States. I think they all went to New York City, And inevitably, within 6 months or a year, they're all depressed and isolated and getting overweight. We have our own problems here, and that's the thing is the whole saying, first world problems is not legit. First world problems are really tough too. We have a lot of isolation, a lot of depression. Human beings are like social creatures, so we don't have other people around. It could be very isolating, and that could be its own situation. So I'm gonna move on. I just sometimes I wonder if this live stream is cheapening my brand or what. I hope it's not. I don't think it is. I think as I get better, it's gonna help me a lot. So uh, anyway, I was gonna talk about another topic now. It's this one. Let me put this. Let me hold this up. I don't know how to do like videos on videos yet, but this is this guy's name is Oliver Anthony, and he has a song called "Richmen North of Richmond." I actually follow this channel, this YouTube channel called Radio WV. I like that channel. I think it's really good stuff. And I saw it when this song first came up, and to be honest, I didn't think a whole lot about it. I didn't dislike it or anything. I just was kind of a little indifferent. I thought it was cool. The guy's car was in the shot, and like his dogs. That was cool, and it was super basic. But then about a week later, I had a good friend in Colorado, Seth, sent me this. He sent me the link to this song. I was like, I already seen it, but then it got me thinking, well, maybe I need to put my songs out like that more often, because I actually have a song called Rich Man, which I'm going to play after this. And anyway, this song this guy sings it's really well done. I mean, I wanted to be jealous of the guy because he's blowing up right now. I wanted to not like him. Of course, I mean, that's kind of the initial reaction you have as a musician that's been going for 23 years and has had little to no financial success. That's not true. I've had financial success every time I play music. I make money. So, but not like that, or that he's just like blowing up huge. And as good as a true martial artist or any artist of any kind knows that it's really about the process. It's not really about the destination. It's the journey. Um, and if this guy he's never really put out songs before, he's even said in interviews he barely even knows how to play the guitar. If he's blowing up, I need to just be happy for him, because what he's doing is great. What he's speaking, I really agree with a lot of what he's saying. And I think it's really powerful that it's speaking to so many people. So instead of being jealous, trying to turn that into inspiration, like, oh, wow, okay, so this does vibe with people. Because for the last 3 years, I've been writing protest songs, which I'm going to play today on this podcast. I've been writing a bunch of protest songs, but they seem to just go right over people's heads and no attention. In fact, I've lost a lot of fans for some of the stuff that I've been saying and singing about for the last few years. People have, like, followers, on social media is one good indication. I've lost hundreds of followers on Instagram over the course of the last 3 years, and Facebook, for speaking out. But it looks like people are ready for it now, and I am really inspired that this guy, who is a white guy with red hair, and that shouldn't matter, but I'm just being honest. Sometimes I start to think like you have to be a hot chick to make it in music these days. You have to be a good-looking woman. And no disrespect to women. I love women too. I mean, I like to look at a good-looking woman, but a lot of what I see now is good-looking women making it in the music business. And that's cool. I'm not hating. Just saying, it's great to see this regular looking guy, out there in Virginia, which is where I'm from. Actually, I think it was shot in West Virginia. He's from Virginia, which is where I'm from too. And he's making it, and he blew up, and now he's turned down an $8 million offer. But good for him. I wouldn't have turned down that offer. I know that. I've been doing this for 23 years. I would have taken that right away. If anybody wanted to call me a sellout or whatever, I would have told them to get lost. I've paid my dues 7 times over, so whatever. But good for him. I'm glad for him. And oh, hey, Gary Reed came in. Gary Reed, it's good to see you, man. I think he moved to Ohio lately or something up north from me. I'm gonna miss him here. Gary Reed's a great busker here around San Diego, and I guess he moved up north. Anyway, back on track here. But yeah, I thought he was like more of a folk singer. People were calling him a country singer. This guy, and I think he's just a folk singer. I've listened to his interviews. I've listened to some of other songs, and I think the guy's great. And it's really inspired me to like write more and get back on track with my guitar songs. And just I've been so distracted by the banjo for the last 5, 6 years. I've been so focused on that banjo, trying to get the banjo to sound right, and it's hard to write banjo songs. It's really hard. It's not as hard to write a guitar song for me. So I think I'm just gonna cut the fat and start playing more guitar and writing more songs. So I need these songs are really resonating with people, and I've on this stream I'm gonna play the songs that I've written over the last few years to show that I have been speaking out through my music, and I'm always playing what I call truther songs at every show that I play. So anyway, Gary Reed says it's 420. Have fun with that, Gary Reed. He's a retired busker. He doesn't busk anymore. Good luck with that too. You can't retire from music, dude. Once you've been in it for as long as you have, there's no way. I hope you can. If you really want to get out of it, good luck, man. I've tried a few times and it didn't work out for me, but hopefully it will for you. But over the last few weeks and months and years, people have always been like, well, you're a country singer. What are you, a rock and roll singer? You're a whatever. I just always called myself a folk musician. And people were like, what makes you a folk musician? Well, I just came upon it this weekend. I was playing a gig at Nate's Garden Grill on Friday night. And nobody there, there was like 2 people there, maybe 4 people there that knew me out of 30. The rest of them, it was just cold. They probably didn't even know I was playing. And I think a folk singer can go into an environment like that and play some songs, probably some cover songs in a way that they've never heard them before, to grab them, get their attention, talk to them between songs, tell some stories, get them interested, play them some of your originals, and then just grab them. That's what a folk singer does. He sings to the folks that might be around. That's the definition of a folk singer. And I think this Oliver Anthony is a folk singer. I think that's not even his real name. And I was starting to wonder, he blew up so much. There's like 35 million views on his video. And I was just like, is this a plant? That's what they call it sometimes in the rap game. There'll be plants. Like they'll have this new rapper come up and then like all of a sudden he shoots up, or he or her shoots up, and they're like, oh man, this guy's a plant. There's a plant. It's a record industry plant or whatever. And I was starting to think about this guy, Oliver Anthony, but I've looked into him more, and I don't think he is a plant. I think he's legit. He's a super legit, humble guy, and I think his songs are great. I've listened to some of his other stuff, and it's really good. So check him out if you want to. I'm going to play some more music now. I've been ranting for about 20 minutes. So, hey, welcome Jeff Helton in South Carolina. Welcome to the stream, dude. Good to see you, man. Good friend of mine from high school. Wild man and jacked. Okay, so they're saying Oliver's real name was Chris. His grandfather was Oliver, so yeah. All right. So everybody's been sending me that song for the last few weeks. I've been getting it from everybody. They're like sending me this song because I guess they know I'm a folk singer, and they're like, check out this song. And I'm like, I've already seen it like a million times. I saw it when it first came out because I actually follow the channel, but it's all good. Thanks for sending me the song. My sister, she sent me the song last night, and it's always good to hear from my sister. It's good to hear from everybody. I love that people think of me when they think of folk singers. It's great. But musicians are kind of like cats, people. I don't know if you know this, but we sometimes will get along with each other, and sometimes we don't. Like you put two cats together, you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes they'll try to scratch each other's eyes out, and sometimes they don't. And another thing is they get mad. We get mad at each other for not supporting each other enough, and we always say this isn't a competition, but it is. We're trying to make a living, all this stuff. So it's easy for us to get jealous and stuff like that. But I'm choosing these days. I'm choosing to get inspired and be like, wow, this guy did it. This guy's like, that's what's possible. That is possible, and good for him. And that's the better way to deal with stuff. Okay, here goes a song. This song is called Richman. Not north of Richmond, but just called Richman. It's about a rich man who realizes he has so much money he'd never be able to spend it all in his lifetime. And if he gives it to his kids, they'll just be spoiled brats. So he decides to give it away. Oh no, where'd that harmonica go now? I had this harmonica earlier. Hang on. See, that's what a real folk singer does, is loses his harmonica. Hey, what's up, Boris? Boris, the neurosurgeon. Well, he's a neurologist. He's a good dude. He made a documentary about me once, and he's working on a new freedom documentary about the businesses that did not shut down during the pandemic. He's also a doctor. Pete Heald. What's up, dude? Good old Pete Heald out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, also via Maryland. He's also in here. Good to see you, Pete. It's always good to see Pete. Pete and I we have good times. All right. This song's called Richman. I'm not gonna look at the chats for this song. Richman Virgin, yeah. I'm a rich man, living on the hill, and I'm looking at the city below. Street lights twinkle where the poor man sleeps. Poor man sleeps. And I'm thinking about my money and wondering, how much do I really need to last me until I die? Until I die. Tomorrow I go to my bank and give all of my money to the... Hang on, guys. I'm going to start this song over. I got super distracted. I'm trying to cue up my laugh or my clap track. Hang on. Let me cue up this clap track real quick. Sheesh. It's all work in progress, people. Be good to yourself. See? All right. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one, I think. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good folk singer clap right there. All right, let's take two. Richman. I got the lyrics all screwed up because I was trying to cue up the clap track. I'm a rich man. I'm living on a hill, and I'm looking at the city below. Street lights all twinkle where the poor man sleeps. Go back to sleep, poor man. I'm thinking about my money and wondering, how much do I really need to last me until I die? 'Cause even rich people die. My savings sitting in my bank is nearly enough for 7 happy lifetimes of comfort and ease. Of comfort and ease. The mansion at the top of the hill. I will all of my fortune to my children. It will only create lazy people who don't appreciate tomorrow. I go to my bank and give all of my money to the people living in the slums, living in the slums, in the slums. I messed up that last chord, but otherwise pretty good. Thank you very much. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate that. Thanks. What a nice audience here tonight. Thanks for all the tips. I appreciate those tips. It's really kind of you. I squandered all my money on groceries this week, so I'm gonna need some tip money. Thanks a lot. I was gonna say though about the Oliver Anthony stuff. His song, the Richmen from North of Richmond. The thing is, the only biggest critique I have of that song is basically he is coming at the Richmen and basically saying they're the cause of all the problems. Actually, that's not true, in my opinion. I think we all are our own masters or captains of our ships, and so you can't just blame the rich for all the problems. You can't blame the rich people for sending your kids to school to get indoctrinated for stuff that you don't believe in. You can't blame the rich people for paying your taxes for a government that you don't believe in. The list goes on. We do so many things that we bring upon ourselves. We can't blame others for it. And I try to live my life that way. I just recently went through a breakup with a woman, and I really liked her a lot, but apparently she didn't feel the same. So I had to think to myself, what did I do wrong here? I can't blame her for everything. She really didn't do anything wrong. And there was things I could have done better. And I have to live and learn. And it's really painful to learn these lessons sometimes. But if we go around blaming others for our problems, we'll never grow. So that's a big critique I've had with his song. In my songs that I write, I try to reflect that, like, hey, what are we doing about the problems? And maybe that's why they don't resonate with people as much, is because people just really love to blame their problems on others. So that's the big critique I have of that song. And for now, I'm going to switch to the banjo. What do we got people saying on here? Your children turn into lazy people who don't appreciate, and that is a fact. Let them work for blood, sweat, and tears. Create humbleness. I agree. I think you can help your kids, teach them to fish, but don't give them the fish. Give them a fishing pole, maybe buy them a fishing pole, teach them how to use it, but don't go out there and get the fish for them, because eventually it's going to backfire on them. And I think there's a lot of rich people that understand that, and they basically make their children struggle. Probably. Great song, Boris says. I am not giving my money to those people. No way. Good for you, Boris. Not bad, bro. Oh, thanks, Jeff Helton. All right, I'm going to switch to the banjo and sing a song now that I wrote. It is called, this isn't a song I wrote. This is a song from the 60s. It's called Where Have All the Average People Gone? And I always thought it was written by a man named Roger Miller, but Roger Miller didn't write it either. Roger Miller was famous for writing that song, Trailer for Sailor Rent, Rooms to Let 50 cents. Something... King of the Road. I can't remember the song right now, but it's a great song. Roger Miller's material is great, and his songs, he has some amazing songs that he did write. He didn't write this one, but he covered it, and he pretty much, I think he made it famous. This song's called Where Have All the Average People Gone? Let me switch over to the instruments here. It's funny because we used to get offended if somebody called us an average person, but now it's like, it's kind of nice. Somebody's like, he's just an average guy. He's an average guy, moderate guy. He's not extreme, you know. I think there's a lot of us out there. We just need to speak up, let our voices be heard. And this is one of those songs for us, average people. Rich people can be average people. I'm not hating on rich people, so I'm not hating on anybody. Try not to anyway. Is that pretty loud? It seems like it. Hopefully that's not too loud out there, y'all. Let me turn it down just a little bit. All the fighting men may think that I am a coward, 'cause I'm never pushing anyone around. But the general people think I'm a troublemaker, 'cause I'm not afraid to fight and stand my ground. It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? All the pious people point and call me a sinner, 'cause to them I've never seen the light. But the other people think that I am a preacher, but I'm just singing what I think is right. It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? And the rich people think that I am a hobo. They're kind of right. Lean and hungry, writing these hobo songs. But the poor, poor people think that I am a rich man. But the truth is, I'm just trying to get along. It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? Funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? It's funny I don't fit. Tell me, where have all the average people gone? There it is. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Kevin, for letting me know it sounds good. Kevin Jones is an amazing banjo player. Kevin Jones is an amazing banjo player out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we used to call each other Earl and Lester. I was Lester Flat, and he was Earl Scruggs. Yeah, I miss you, Kevin. We've been in touch a lot more lately, so. I see. I got about 20 minutes to go here, which is usually about 3 or 4 songs, maybe 5 at the most. But I want to talk a little bit more, so I gotta figure out what songs I'm gonna play. I'm definitely playing my own songs here, for the most part. Let's see. I want to play this song called "Let's All Solve This" because I feel like that's the most empowering song, like a protest song that's like empowering all of us to change things and not putting our problems on other people and saying let's all figure this out. Let's all focus on a problem and make a change. You like? I actually stole that line from I squandered all my money on groceries. I think I stole that from oh man, what's his name? Local songwriter here in San Diego. Big deal. People love him. I love him. He hangs out with Jason Mraz all the time. Anyway, he said it, but he's funny. And I don't think I made that line up, I have to admit. Yeah, hope we can collaborate and play again sometime. Yeah, let's do it, Kevin. Let's do it, man. I'm sick of playing the banjo. Been doing it for too long now. It's too hard. All right, so this song's called "Let's All Solve This." I actually wrote it during the Trump era because people were hating on Trump so much. I was like, wait, you can't blame the president for all the problems. I didn't blame Obama for all the problems. I didn't blame Bill Clinton for all the problems. I didn't blame George Bush for all the problems. We always have to say to ourselves, what can we do? We could stop buying oil when George Bush sent, when we had a war against Iraq. We were supposed to stop buying oil. So that's what this song... That's what this song's about. It's called "Let's All Solve This." Sorry, I'm a little manic today again. One of these days, I'm gonna be super calm on this thing because I'm gonna have everything dialed in. I've been working my butt off trying to get this up and running. So here goes the song. Let's all solve this. There's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. 'Cause this life is a blessing, so we better keep moving. We better enjoy ourselves each and every day. Seems like there's always something trying to keep us struggling. And if we unify, we can break some chains. There's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. Yeah. We could blame the president and a corrupt government. We could blame a myriad of unpleasant things. But we're all the problem, and we're all the solution. Everybody has a gift and part to play. There's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. Yeah. I know I'm not innocent. I know I'm polluting. Every time I drive this car down the freeway, I keep trying and I keep recycling. Oh, anything to save us from a doomsday. 'Cause there's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. this life is a blessing, so we better keep moving. We better enjoy ourselves each and every day. Seems like there's always something trying to keep us struggling. And if we unify, we can break some chains. Ah, there's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Kevin Jones says, I like the lick on this tune, kind of Stephen Stills vibes. Oh, cool, man. Thanks, Kevin. That means a lot from you, Kevin. Kevin Jones is quite the musicologist. All right, so I'm trying to get through some more songs before the end of this. We got like 15 minutes. I'm looking at my list. I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like that's my best protest song that I've written for the pandemic and for the Trump era, for people just in general. Be passionate about problems. Be passionate about the problems that you want to solve. I think that's great. Don't expect other people to do the work for you. Do the work. Get in there, solve the problem. Join forces with other people who feel the same way you do. Get in there and solve these problems. Don't blame the president, because we all know that that's all fake anyway, right? I mean, maybe it's real. I don't think so. I think it's all just a bunch of puppets, right? I mean, I thought Trump was legit for a while. I don't think so anymore, but again, I'm open for debate on that, though. If you love Trump, good for you. God bless you. I think they're all a bunch of actors, but that's just me now. So I'm going to play a song now that's called Corona Coaster Blues. I feel like that's a good one to play. And then I'll play one called Frustrated, and then Wonderful. I'm going to end on Wonderful World, which is a beautiful song. Do you know 10 Little Indians? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians. No, I don't know that one. I used to know it when I was in, preschool? All right, this song's called Corona Coaster Blues. I feel like it's one of my strongest melodies that I've ever written. The problem is the song it's not constantly talking about what the issues are. It's the song, just like the pandemic, the song just gets more controversial as it goes on. And I always thought people had the patience for something like that, but I don't think the song ever really caught on. But people love it when I sing the last line of this song, which is, please give me liberty, or please just go ahead and kill me, because I won't take the vaccine from the evil machine. I'd rather get a guillotine. Whenever I sing that song, almost inevitably people get super excited and they love. That's a folk singer. When you're out and about and you're singing a song to a crowd, you have no idea what their politics are, and you get people like turned on by your message. That's a folk singer, in my opinion. Anyway, this song's called Corona Coaster Blues, and it's got a great melody. I just wish I would have done better on the lyrics, I guess. Maybe one day I'll write better lyrics to this melody. In the spring of 20, we got reamed by a virus. That was me. It went about killing people in the economy. We started living with these Corona Coaster Blues. All these Corona Coaster Blues. Love the heart, J-Van. Perfect color. felt fine Sunday night, but by Monday my mind started reeling. What do we believe in? Way too much disinformation. I was drunk by noon that morning with the Corona coaster blues. The Corona coaster blues. They made us all wear a mask. We could not see who was smiling at me. What a sad way to be. Harder to be friendly when we were living with these Corona coaster blues. The Corona coaster blues. Seems like they want to drive all the small time out of businesses while killing all the competition, till there's nothing left but the corporations that are forcing us to keep on riding on these Corona coaster blues. All these Corona coaster blues. Here's the line, this is it. Please give me liberty, or please just go ahead and please kill me. 'Cause I won't take that vaccine from the evil machine. I'd rather get a guillotine than these Corona coaster blues. All these Corona coaster blues. All right, thank you very much. That's one of my strongest melodies ever written. Hey, thanks for the compliment on the banjo playing, Jeff. That's awesome, man. And thanks for the turquoise blue heart, J Van. Folk Heart Mart. All right, let's see if anybody's tipped yet. It's almost the end of the show here. And let me just see if any got any tips today. I always like to thank people if I did. And let's see. Let's look. It takes a second. I'm going to tell a joke here in a second, too. Maybe I should do it while I'm looking at the tips. But one of these days, I'll have the tips already up, and I can just look at it. But that's going to take another piece of equipment, I think, because right now my phone is being used as the camera, so I can't actually look at it. So I have to use my laptop to look at my PayPal and Venmo. Looks like somebody might have done something on here. I can't see though who it was. Why can't I? Finances. This is terrible. Sorry. Activity. Here we go. Do 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 do. Donald Hill. Thank you so much, Donald Hill. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. And then let me just open up Venmo, see what happened there. Thanks a lot for all the tips, everybody. It's really kind to tip musicians these days. It's I mean, it's hard for everybody. Every industry is blocked up right now, I know. But music has always been tough, I guess. But it's very rewarding, as they say. Looks like Boris. Thank you, Boris, for the tip. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. And on with the show. What do we got left here? I'm going to do a couple more songs. I'm going to do 2 more songs, Frustrated and then Wonderful World. But the joke of the day, what do you call a really funny storm that was supposed to mess up San Diego but didn't? Hurricane Hilary S. Come on, people. Is this thing on? Hello? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Hurricane Hilary S. All right, that's one of the jokes. But this is the other one. What do you call a storm that makes big threats, gets people stressed out, and still never gets to be president? Hurricane Hilary. Okay. All right. That one was pretty good, I guess. I don't like doing personal jokes like that. I'm more of a Mitch Hedberg kind of joke teller these days. I like to be like pretty innocent jokes, not getting people. I do have a Cash App. You just go to Fast Heart Mart is my Cash App. Cash App is great, guys, because it's very instant, I think. All right, this song is on the guitar. Here we go. I might go a little over today just because I want to do these last 2 songs for sure. Thanks everybody for coming out. That was cool. That's really cool that you came out. It looks like quite a few people were here. Thanks to my parents as always. J Van is she's always here, and a lot of you guys are always here these days. So I really appreciate that. It's awesome. I hope you're enjoying it. These podcasts they go up everywhere, like on Spotify and stuff the next day. So if you have friends who want to listen, just listen in their car or whatever, you can listen in the car. I know I like that. I like listening to stuff in my car. I watch some stuff on YouTube, but I don't watch a whole lot of live streams. I watch the reruns of the live streams. Keep me company sometimes. All right. This song's called Frustrated. It's a song that I wrote about the times we're living in or how frustrating it can be. And you can't even talk about it to some people because they get upset. All right. That's what this song's about, I guess. It's frustrating when I can't explain why, 'cause someone might come and poke me in the eye. Is that the truth or is it another big fat lie? It's frustrating and I can't explain why. Well, maybe I'm not woke, but you are asleep. It's really hard to tell in your pack of sheep. I like to talk it out and keep the peace before we lose the freedom to speak. 'Cause I'm frustrated and I can't explain why, 'cause someone might come and poke me in the eye. Is that the truth or is it another big fat lie? It's frustrating, I can't explain why. Stuck there at home, I was sitting by myself, I was all alone. I'd hit rock bottom and I turned into a stone. I was trying to date a girl on a telephone. Oh, it's frustrating and I can't explain why. Someone might come poke me in the eye. Is that the truth or is it another big fat lie? It's frustrating, I can't explain why. For the best and preparing for the worst, but I'm about to have a big outburst. I feel like these times could be hella cursed, like we might end up turning in the dirt. 'Cause it's frustrating and I can't explain why. Someone might come poke me in the eye. Is that the truth or another big fat lie? It's frustrating, I can't explain why. but you are asleep. It's really hard to tell in your pack of sheep. I'd like to talk this out and keep the peace before we lose the freedom to speak. It's frustrating and I can't explain why. Someone might come and poke me in the eye. Is that the truth or is it a big fat lie? It's frustrating, I can't explain why. It's frustrating and I can't explain why. I'm frustrated and no one knows why. What are you laughing about? That's not funny. It's supposed to be, that's a good song. There it is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Make a death metal version of that. Yeah, right. That'd be cool. You do it. You do it, Jeff. You're good at that. All right, I'm going to play one more song, y'all. Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for all the tips today. You can still tip. If you're watching the rerun, please tip. The Venmo sign is right there on the screen. People Venmo me all the time when I'm playing live, but like live in real life, but I'm not sure they use that Venmo sign. Gary Reed pointed out one day, a lot of people are probably using their phone to watch this so they can't scan the Venmo code. Whatever, I'm going to keep the Venmo sign up because it just lets people know that there's an opportunity to tip me. So this song's called What a Wonderful World. I used to think this song was very naive by pointing out all the, all the beautiful things in the world, but ignoring all the other crap that's going on. But that actually is life, I think. Life is about focusing on the positive and not dwelling in the negative, acknowledging the negative. I love acknowledging the negative, believe me. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at spotting negative things. But as I gotten older, I realized you have to focus on the positive things. And if you don't already, and you're having problems with depression or sadness of any kind, I encourage you to have a gratitude practice. I do every day. One of the first things I do in the morning when I wake up is I say out loud to God what I'm thankful for in my life, what is going right, Instead of asking God all the time what I need from God, I say to God what I'm grateful for, and it really lifts your spirits to think of every little thing that's going right in your life. There's always something that's going right. The fact that you got up out of bed, or the fact that you woke up from your sleep, is a miracle. All these cells working together to keep us alive. It's we're blessed just to be here, I know it's not easy. I'm not saying that. Life is really, really, really crazy and hard. A lot of times it doesn't have to be. My dad's requesting Black Mountain Rag. One of these days, Dad. Hopefully, that would be cool. Trevor Melton, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Trevor Melton's a heck of a musician, dude. That guy lives in, I think he's in Northern Virginia these days, and he's making, I think last I heard, Trevor, you were being like a studio musician and getting a lot of gigs, and that guy's always been amazing. He's a great drummer. When we were teenagers, we'd always be like, look at Trevor, man. That guy can play the drum. Anyway, good to hear from you, Trevor. All right, I'm going to play one more song and get out of here. Thanks a lot for everything. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves, people. Pat yourself on the back for getting up and showing up. Just being here, being alive. It's a crazy time to be alive. And just, you're a hero. You're a hero. You're a hero just for being here, You just remember that. The angels are jealous because they know how hard it is for us. Here we go. Yeah. I see trees of green and red roses too. I see them blooming for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies blue, clouds are white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, all the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. They're also on the faces of all these people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, asking, how do you do? What they're really saying is, I love you. I hear babies crying, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blooming for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, all the colors of the rainbow, they're so pretty in the sky. And they're also on the faces of all these people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, asking, how do you do? They're really saying is, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All right, thank you very much. What a huge crowd this is. Massive crowd. Thanks a lot, everybody. Let's see, got some comments here. Forever, you have always been an awesome drummer, bro. Yeah, dude. Trevor Melton. If anybody out there needs a studio musician, I think he's definitely does drums. I think he also does. I think he's doing bass and stuff too. Maybe guitar. Hire Trevor, man. That guy's legit. Next week, go lefty. That's what Gary Reed said. No way, dude. Can't do it. I'm not Jimi Hendrix. J Van, soul soothing. Thanks, J Van. You're great. So great. J Van in South Carolina, South Kakalaki. Boris, thank you, Fast Art. It's a wonderful day. You are right. Thanks, Boris. And I've been good. Oh, Jeff and Trevor talking back and forth. My mom and dad said, great show. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You guys are the best. 1 and 2 fans. 1 and 1.5 or whatever. Anyway, everybody take care. Be good to yourselves. See you next week. I'm going to keep doing this until it doesn't make sense anymore, I guess. Every Wednesday, 4 o'clock. We'll just keep on rolling. You guys are great. Remember, you're heroes for being alive these days, okay? All right, ending the broadcast now.